Good morning, Year 3, and welcome to your next maths lesson. Today we'll be solving some two-step problems. But before we do that, as we're doing problem solving this week, I just wanted to write a range of different words on the board because these are all words that you'll see in word problems, and it's really useful to know what these words mean because these are the words that will tell you what type of question it is. So have a look at these words. You may want to pause the video for a second and just see if you can work out what type of calculation each of these words would go with. Would you see this word in an addition question, a subtraction question, a multiplication question, or a division question? Where would you see these words? Pause it and see if you can think and work it out. It's really important that you can understand the words used in a question and see if you can answer it. Have a go. I'm just going to pause my video for 1 second too. Thank you, 3. I've even added 3. You may spot 3 that I've added as well. And maybe you can tell me what those words mean. So groups of, you'd see that in a timesing question. Groups of, how many groups of this number? Some, that's one of the words that I added. We get that a lot in our mental maths problems that we have. You'd see that in an addition question. Sum means add. Altogether, also you see that in an addition question. Greater than, again, probably an addition question. This number was that much greater than the other number. Probably have to add those numbers together to work out the total. Again, total and addition. Fewer, that'll be a subtraction question. This many fewer. Again, the word difference. The difference between two numbers, the space between them. To work that out, we'd always do a subtraction. We've spoken about that a few times before. Difference means subtract. Product would be a timesing question. If you're sharing something between different people, you're dividing it, you're sharing it. It's a division question. So it's really important that we see these words and we understand what those words mean so that we know what calculation we're doing to get the right answer. It's really important. And that may be useful today or this week when we're solving word problems. There's 3 on the board. So today, each of these problems would need us to do 2 separate sums. It's a 2-step problem. I'm just going to move around to the other side. Peter has 28 coins. As always, let's underline those key words. 28 coins. He's given 15 more. He then loses 12. How many coins does he have now? So you probably can see that there are 2 steps to solving this problem. Peter has 28 coins and then he gets 15 more. So the first thing we have to do is add those 2 numbers together. And again, we may need our column addition and column subtraction today. 13, 4. So we have 43 coins now Peter has, but that's not the end of the question. He then loses 12. So there are 2 separate sums we need to work out to get the answer. 3 take away 2 is 1, 4 take away 1 is 3. So the answer is 31. We had to do 2 separate sums to work out the answer. It's a 2-step problem. There are 2 separate steps, 2 things to do. And that will be the same for each of the questions today. Jane has 16 cards, John has 19, and Sam has 21. How many do they have altogether? Remember, altogether means it's an addition question. You could do this in 2 separate steps. You could add 2 numbers and get the answer and then add the other number after. But we have added 3 separate numbers before. So you may be able to just add all 3 numbers at the same time. Sorry, I've run out of space a little bit. Let me just make some space at the top of my board. 21, 16, 19. So you could have done this one in 2 steps, but you can actually do it in just 1 step. 9 add 1 is 10, add 6 is 16, 2, 3, 4, 5, 56. They have 56 cards altogether. And the final one, Ellie has 85p. She spends 16p, then she spends 26p. How much does she have now? So she started with 85p, and then she spent 16p, and then she spends 26p. So it's going to be a subtraction question. The number's getting smaller. We start with 85, and at first she spends 16. So we'll just do that step to start with. 5 take away 6 I can't do, remember? So that becomes 7 and that becomes 15 now. 15 take away 6 is 9. 7 take away 1 is 6. So we have 69. But that isn't our answer, remember? Because she then spends 26p. So we have to do a second sum. 69 take away 26. 9 take away 6 is 3. 6 take away 2 is 4. 43. So for each of these questions today, you'll have 2 separate sums to do. They're 2-step problems. There are actually 3 different sheets. You can do all 3, or you can just do the one that you think is best for you to solve. They're all very similar questions, just the numbers get bigger. And the final sheet, there are a couple of differences in the questions, almost to try and catch you out of it. So you have to read them very carefully. It's up to you which questions you do. You haven't got to do all of them unless you have time and you really want to. So they're all 2-step problems. So try and complete one sheet. And if you have time, maybe try and complete another sheet as well, or a few more questions. If you need my help, I will be on Google Meet after a few minutes of the lesson. Just look out for that link. Thanks, Year 3.